Cancer, the crab. Head sign of the water triplicity. June 21st to July 22nd. This sign governs the chest, breast, and maternal functions of the grand man or macrocosm. It is a cardinal, feminine, movable, watery, phlegmatic, nocturnal sign, the positive pole of the water triplicity. The higher attributes are feeling and sympathy. The sun enters the sign each year on or about the 21st of June, and departs from it on or about the 22nd of July. The sun on entering the sign should be given 6 days before coming into full touch and action with the influence of the sign. A person born between the dates of the 21st and the 27th of June would not receive the full central results of the sign's individuality, as he would be born when the sun was on the edge of the sign. This is known as the cusp, and its nature and impulses partake of the sign the sun has just passed through or out from, and the native will also partake of the attributes of the sign of the zodiac the moon is located in at the time of birth. This sign is called the paradox of the 12. A few harmonious people are to be found in it, who as far as known have not given any especial attention to mental or spiritual development, but, generally speaking, the genius of the Cancer sign is exceedingly difficult to explain. Those born under it have a persistent will, determination, intuition, and purpose. Yet they often let go for a slight reason, or for no apparent reason. They are invincible to argument, and cannot be talked out of a thing, but if their feelings are hurt, they are apt to lose heart, and abandon whatever they have undertaken. Their great sensitiveness leads them into the most absurd extremes. They are as strong as giants and as weak as infants. These people are fond of travel, often taking long voyages. Those born under Cancer will be gifted in many directions far above the average, if educated thoroughly. They have a very superior intelligence, and an aptitude for learning new things and working out new principles. They are generous and full of sympathy for the public good, but they demand a full independence to develop the same. They are often capricious, and frequently change their occupation. Cancer people who have not given themselves to the work of development are apt to talk of the personal self, and this tendency becomes a habit which grows into disease in mature life. It is very hard for them to work under the direction of others, and correspondingly difficult for them to live harmoniously in a house that they are not at the head of. They are ardent lovers of home, and have fine executive ability in its management, and are devoted to their children. Notwithstanding their love and loyalty, those born under this sign are apt to change companions and friends very frequently, often becoming bitter enemies of those to whom they were previously attached. They are tactful to diplomacy in some matters, and show their hands with painful clearness in others. Their powers of understanding are very quick and keen, and they have excellent memories. Among them are indefatigable scholars and some of our finest public speakers. Both the men and women are very fond of money. The male is apt to become miserly, the female covetous and ambitious to get on board. These are the people who are afraid and ashamed of poverty, who count their silver, and hide their gems in stockings, and who are in constant expectation of burglars. The mind of the Cancer person is mechanical. The men usually succeed well in the manufacturing business and active trades of all kinds. The women are intellectual, are often very logical writers and speakers, remarkably progressive in their ideas, and frequently found among the prime movers in great humane enterprises. The Cancer people are very apt to be comfortable, happy, and unassailable during the day, but very unhappy and depressed at night. They are conscientious about giving advice, and like to be consulted in important matters. They are kind in illness and trouble, and devoted and efficient when the responsibility rests upon them. They are very tenacious of their own and their children's rights, and very courageous in defending them. They are fond of the beautiful and artistic, and like to be handsomely attired. They are neat and orderly and expect everybody else to be. The Cancer men are far more constant than the Cancer women. Personal appearance. These people are usually of medium stature, rather large in the upper portion of the body, with round face, soft skin, tawny or very pale complexion, smaller features, and light eyes. Companions. Their congenial companionship will be found with those born in Pisces and Scorpio. The offspring will be the strongest when a Cancer and a Pisces person are united. Faults. The faults of Cancer people can be laziness, selfishness, jealousy, vanity, and love of money for money's sake and for purposes of display. The undeveloped Cancer woman will go to great lengths to obtain the garments and jewels which her really fine taste covets beyond anything else in the world. These women like to wear sparkling gems, and are always striving to show them to the best advantage. The men, as well as the women, are inordinately fond of seeing their names in print, and are always seeking the plaudits of the mob. They can be very cruel and vindictive, and are quick to resent a personal criticism. The women are exceedingly fickle and inconstant, and on this account are seldom happily married. They exact constancy in others, and appear to be quite unaware of their own derelictions in this respect. They claim to be the paragons of truth, but are inclined to much fabrication. Cancer is the only sign of the zodiac governed by the moon, and the changeable qualities of the people are attributed to its influence. Diseases. The diseases likely to attack these people are weak digestion and gastric troubles. These ailments and every other known to man can be entirely dominated, forever cast out, by those who realize that mind is the master and the body the servant of mind. Mode of growth. As these people have great aptitude in learning new things, they should give themselves to such study as will strengthen the will and enlighten the conscience. Spiritual and metaphysical subjects should be taken up, and the substitution of the true for the false, the reality for the sham, should be religiously attempted. Women who are fond of their diamonds should wear no diamonds. They should set themselves to the work of cultivating the inner life by turning their backs upon externalities and personalities. They should strive for loyalty, constancy, and nobility in all matters. They should put a bridle on their tongues, and cultivate respect as well as toleration for other people's opinions. Marriage. Those born under this sign should never marry early in life. In fact, a single life is generally to be preferred for the Cancer women. They should study themselves most conscientiously in this vital matter. When these people are unhappy in the marital relation, they are not only the most wretched people in the world, but they are the most dangerous, as their caprice will lead them to an utter disregard of all advice and the feelings of the nearest and dearest. They see no reason for being bound in an uncongenial relation, and if they cannot break it in one way, they will in another. Domestic happiness is possible to those born under this sign who have made a study of self and learned to govern self. But the true talent of these people will usually be best understood and subserved by a single life. Government of children. The greatest care should be taken with Cancer children, and their training and development should commence very early. Their exceeding sensitiveness makes them hard to manage, although these little ones are very obliging and gentle if properly treated. They are sympathetic with sorrow and suffering, but inclined to dwell upon the abnormal aspects of these conditions, and grow very nervous and excited when describing them. The attention of these children should be turned in babyhood to the contemplation of the true, the sweet, the tender, the harmonious. They should not be taken to funerals, nor made to spend much time with people who are very ill. They should always be dressed simply, no matter what the social position or condition of the parents. To overdress a Cancer girl is sometimes to ruin her for life. In every possible way, the attention of the young should be turned to the attainment of a meek and quiet spirit. It is an especially good plan to have regular times for these little ones to sit perfectly still and perfectly silent. 5 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day, will be of the greatest assistance in their development. Such periods of forced rest from all activity of tongue and limb are very helpful for the restless, nervous, and talkative children of every sign. The proper development of Cancer children is often seriously retarded by overfond parents, nurses, and guardians, who insist upon clasping them close to themselves. These electromagnetic conditions are annoying, exciting, and very debilitating to the nervous system. Cancer children, who sleep near their parents, can become very easily depleted and made ill. No pains should be spared to familiarize these children with the laws of life, and especially with those governing the sex functions. Special care should be given to their diet and their hours of rest and sleep. With care and consideration, these children can be brought to spiritually harmonious manhood and womanhood, and, when this is accomplished, there are no stronger, more brilliant, or more useful people than those who stand at the head of the water triplicity. The governing planet is the moon, and the gems are emerald and black onyx. The astral colors are green and russet brown.